Come join with me as we journey back to our beautiful homeland, to the villages in the Böhmerwald where our German Bohemian grandparents or great-grandparents were born. The quaint little villages in the valleys or on the hillsides of the Bohemian forest they left behind to settle on the prairies of southern Minnesota over 100 years ago. The first stop on our journey is in the Bavarian border town of Fortenwald, where we will visit the Heimat Museum, the Homeland Museum, which has on display many items of the material cultural heritage of our German Bohemian immigrant ancestors. We are now in the market square of Fortenwald, listening to the Glockenspiel, playing the beautiful Böhmerwald Lied, which begins with the words, Es war in Böhmerwald, wo meine Wiege stand. It was in the Bohemian forest where my cradle stood. We now cross the border into Bohemia and stop in the tiny village of Vollmau. That, like so many other border villages, was destroyed by the communists after World War II. The only structure left standing was the little church of St. Anthony of Padua, which has been recently restored. This was home to the Keckelmeyer family. We travel now north through Taus, the gateway to western Bohemia, to Bischofsteinitz, the county seat that was once the summer home of the Bishop of Prague, but after the 30 Years' War, it was gifted to the Austrian family of Trautmannsdorf. Now in Bischofsteinitz, Bischofsgietin, and this is the Trautmannsdorf's castle. Trautmannsdorf were the rulers here since the 30 Years' War, around the city center, city square. This is the archives for the County of Bischofsteinitz, Hotel Shumava, here on the City Hall, commemorating the liberation here of Bischofsteinitz, 1945. Next door is a convent. Was turned into a museum after the war. Square again, egg building. Getting close to the church, another view of the city square. You can notice that the buildings here are Baroque tops, and then those that have been modernized. Troutmansdorf Castle. View of the city church, St. Peter and Paul. We're in the courtyard of the Schloss, of the palace.
Am 27. April 1946, da mussten wir alle hier rein, alle Deutschen hier. Und hier wurde uns alles abgenommen bis auf 50 Kilo. Und damit mit alten Beziehungswaggons nach Deutschland.
That time they took the Germans in here and they took all their belongings. And then they gave them a train trip to over Germany.
70 kilos, that's all they could carry.
Just south of Bischofsteinitz was the very old village of Metzling and the Church of St. Michael. Monument of the World War I soldiers. In German. Many of these names on the monument are very common in the wall. The church. Wohnischen, a village with a huge water-driven grain mill, was home to the Dietrich and Neid families. These were the Neids. Paddockstein's family comes from. House number 25 in Wohnischen. House number 23 in Wohnischen. Moving further west, we come to the town of Ronsberg and the Church of the Assumption. Ronsberg, a town of about 2,000 inhabitants, was the seat of another noble family that owned many of the neighboring villages. Looking at the Hotel Hubertus, Mount Marxstrasse. I'm not sure, but I think that's where the Kiefners had their, it was kind of a dry goods store. The Schloss of the Hodenhofe, The graph for the Duke from here, the last one, was very influential and forward-looking into the European Union. It was originally known as Ramsburg from the animals here, rams. Actually, they're boars, and this is part of the family crest from this town. Priest Father Sack. And the Church of the Assumption. Traveling west from Ronsberg, we see on the horizon, perched on the high hill, the Church of St. Wenceslas in the village of Berg. Where all the people from Nachitin, Trohatin, Shilikau went to church. Way up on a high hill, overlooking the neighboring valleys. Many, many, many German graves of Spiro. Helget from Shilikau, Hofors, Hofner, Winschittel, Meyer, Nachitin. Meyer also from Nachitin. Here lies Joseph Grebner, who was the father of my friend Grebner. Trohati numbers 30. This family bought the home from mine when they left. The Kiefner family. Haas from Nachitin. Bones, of course, are set off to the side because there's no one here to take care of any graves of Germans families are no longer represented here. But it's almost all German Bohemian families that emigrated to New Ulm. On the site was a fortress going back way to the 14th century, and the church is made of stone. Here's a view of the church, built up on Berg. And German Bohemian Heritage Society has contributed some money to this church for its restoration. This is the church in Berg.
Zamysleme se nad sebou, přiznejme si své hříchy, abychom mohli přistoupit k této mši svaté. Vyznávám se všemu Bohu a vám.